Hello and welcome to the Hot Dog and Handshake Pro Wrestling Show. I am your host, Jayden and Shane. Joining me is my co-host, Shane Price. Shane, how you doing this week?
Pretty good.
And back again, we have Jolka. Jolka, how you doing this week?
I'm doing really good.
All right, so it was announced this week that on the pre-show to All In, we will see Willow Nightingale team with Tomohiro Ishii, also known as the Stone Pitbull, against Chris Statlander and her manager, Stokely Hathaway. So after seeing that, I thought we should come up with some weird dream matches. We're not trying to have five-star classics. This isn't going to be AJ Styles versus Shawn Michaels. This is going to be stuff that is odd or just different in any way, and we're just trying to be entertaining. So with that, about how many do you guys think you came up with?
Oh, the list just keeps going in my head.
Okay.
I got 3 solid, but I can keep going.
I came up with 8.
Okay,
6
cool.
plus a promo.
6 plus a promo. Okay, so let's just go. We'll just go in a circle. Let's start with Shane. What's your first one here?
So one of my favorite lines in a rap song that I just find is really funny is when Project Pat goes "Still Down for Lucha Libre." That inspired me to create the Project Pat's "Still Down for Lucha Libre" classic of Super Kendo and La Parka.
Awesome. And then, do you want to explain why you're giving yours different names? Because it's going to be a theme. Let's go ahead and get the
So there, if you go back and look at our KJHK stuff, we did a review of Wrestle Kingdom 1, and in Wrestle Kingdom 1 they had weirdly translated names for all the matches, and the first match was the Funny Waltz.
Yeah. So
like the funny and then the dance waltz.
Yeah.
The match was just okay. It wasn't even that funny.
Mm-hmm.
But just every single match having a weird name was.
Yeah, because it felt like someone came up with the match names in English, used 2009 Google to try to translate them into Japanese, and then they used Google to translate them back to English, and it was just completely different.
Oh man.
So, yeah, I like Super Kendo versus La Parka. That'd be pretty good. What do you got? What's your first one?
1994-95 Razor Ramon versus LA Knight.
Oh, that would be fun. That would be a lot of taunting in that match, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
Mine also has a little bit of backstory. There's a famous tweet that circles around every once in a while where Glenn Jacobs tweeted something. And in the replies, Hangman Adam Page just posted a link to a YouTube video that was 10 brutal chair shots Kane takes to the head. So mine is Hangman Page versus Kane in a chairs match.
That's respectable.
I think that would be my first one.
Respectable.
What do you got?
My next match is the Garbage Pail Kids match. Both of these guys are well known for their usage of trash cans. I have New Jack against Logan Paul.
Ooh.
New Jack against Logan
You just
Paul.
want to see an execution.
Yeah.
187, baby.
Yeah. That would just be a murder. All right. What do you got, Joga?
Oh wow. I'd like to see Bob Backlund versus R-Truth, because both of them are hilarious.
Like a Mr. Bob Backlund.
Yes.
That'd be good. That'd be good. That'd be good.
That would be real good. I tried finding somewhere to put R-Truth in. I just couldn't think of the right thing. But there's so many ways.
Well, I got a place for R-Truth. He wasn't in it originally, but I got a place for him now.
So mine is a battle of AEW on-screen talent that aren't wrestlers. Well, currently wrestlers. Stokely Hathaway versus Taz.
Okay.
Suplex machine.
God. And here I'm thinking, no, New Jack versus Logan Paul's going to be the worst beatdown. Oh, my God.
Yeah. What else? What else do you got, Shane?
This is my promo. This is a 30-minute college algebra lecture from Professor Scott Steiner.
College algebra lecture. Awesome. That could only go poorly.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
All right, what else? You got another one?
Yes. Michael Cole versus Tony Schiavone.
Ooh. A little bit of a
Michael
WWF
Cole
invasion
in
there.
the headgear and the wrestling.
Throwing it back to 2011.
So I want to see Zack Sabre Jr. Been watching a lot of him in the G1 Climax. He might be the best technical wrestler in the world. So my next thought was, who is potentially the worst technical wrestler in the world? So I want to see Zack Sabre Jr. take on Omos. And just see what happens. What else you got, Shane?
This is the Tony Awards cinematic match. So for some backstory, there was the Oscar Awards match that was Orange Cassidy versus Stokely Hathaway.
Mm-hmm.
And so this match is going to be Stokely Hathaway versus Gerald Briscoe.
Gerald Briscoe.
And featuring a cameo from R-Truth.
Cameo from R-Truth. You got to get Pat Patterson involved, too.
I'll figure it. I'll figure it out.
We'll fit him in. What else do you got?
Well, this one's got to go on there. Everybody wants to see this one. Undertaker versus Sting.
Oh, has to.
I mean, that's a 5-star dream match.
In like a list of dream matches, like weird or not weird, Sting's Taker has to be on that.
It's on most wrestling fans' lists.
I think the weird way would be to make it like a wrestling match. Don't let it be spooky. Like,
right?
Just a 60-minute Iron Man, technical wrestling.
Mean Mark Callis versus Stu Surfer Sting.
Oh, wow. That might have actually happened.
It could. Actually, it might have.
My next one is there's rumors that WWE is doing a pay-per-view in Italy next year. So I thought, what's the most Italian match I could think of? And I have a 3-way dance between Tony D'Angelo, Little Guido, and Santino Marella.
I love your inclusion of Little Guido there.
Yeah.
I would have made it better by using one of the not Italian members of the FBI.
Yeah.
Because that would have been more in line with the character, I guess.
Yeah. But I think it's got to be Little Guido.
Oh, no. Little Guido's got to be there, yeah.
What do you got?
So this is my kind of serious match. This is going to be a shoot-style match between all the 4 pillars.
Ooh, yeah.
So that's Taue, Kawada, Kobashi, Misawa, all in a match where you're not really going to see any big grappling. You're going to see a lot of strikes, open palm strikes.
What is really unfortunate about the Japanese style when those guys wrestled is that 4 ways weren't a thing.
Yes.
You do not see a lot of 4 ways then. So actually getting them all 4 would be, and it would just be brutal.
And plus, this is like them not being in. This is them being in UWF and not All Japan. So it's a little bit of a departure from that style.
Yeah. What else do you got?
This is actually my Japanese pick. Tozawa and Takamichinoku.
Oh.
That would.
Ooh.
Both of them being at the same place on the card.
Good.
That would be weird on. It'd be one of those matches that when we do our classic reviews, would be this doesn't look great on paper. But
right.
then we get in and it's a 4.5-star match.
You always say it doesn't look great. I always say this might be the match of the night.
Yeah.
But I like that pick a lot,
right.
actually.
Yeah. My next one is the only tag team match I came up with. The Outrunners. Have you heard of them from AEW?
Yeah.
Okay. The Outrunners versus the Mega Powers.
Oh, wow. Mega Powers. That's a good one.
The current team that's just so 80s against what they're parodying would be so funny.
I got the funnier waltz. This is the Job Squad, which I decided to go with Bob Holly and Too Cold against Cabana and Cutler.
Oh my gosh.
The funnier waltz.
Cole Cabana and Brandon Cutler. That's great. What else do you got another one?
On the theme of tag teams, the Steiner brothers and the New Age Outlaws.
Steiner Brothers and New Age Outlaws.
I didn't think of another one if you want to get one more.
I have a few more. If you guys want to stop, I can just get mine. This one I think could actually happen if one of the people in it wasn't in WWE. Minoru Suzuki versus Rhea Ripley in an intergender match, I think would be awesome. Because Suzuki has a match with Asuka, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this would be
where he just beats the crap out of her.
Yeah, but Rhea could hold her own. What else do you got?
So he brought up the commentator match that reminded me of WF Invasion.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to go with the Earl Hebner Memorial, even if he's not dead match. We got Bryce Remsburg against Rod Zapata.
Nice.
So the throwing it back to the Earl Hebner Nick Patrick match, which was solidly not that bad for referee match.
Who referees this one? Because Foley refereed that, didn't he?
Yeah. Ooh.
Christian Cage in his turtleneck.
Christian Cage in a striped turtleneck. Yeah.
What do you got another one?
Yeah. I'd like to see Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart in their prime but after Survivor Series.
Oh,
In a 60-minute Iron Man
that shoot style match might
That's
not be
just-
the most brutal match.
That's just
going
going to turn to an MMA fight, I think.
Not even. It'd be like a bar fight.
Yeah. My next one is Tomohiro Ishii versus an actual pit bull.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Then I have one more. Do you guys have any more?
I can think of one.
I can keep going.
Yeah,
Well, let's each do one more. So you go. I'll go last.
So, I was thinking, because he's doing a lot of dream matches, I'll do a match that actually happened, but in a way that we never saw it. Give me Rocky Maivia against Stunning Steve Austin.
Dude, I didn't even think
Wow.
about something like that. That's really good. I like that. What's your last one?
Umaga versus Vader.
Oh, put that.
That would be crazy.
Make that Jamal versus Vader. I'm sold.
So my last one kind of breaks physics. Ilya Dragunov versus a clone of Ilya Dragunov.
You know what? I'll take it.
And you know, like in fighting games, when you like pick the same fighter and one of them's in like a different color,
Right.
it's like Ilya Dragunov in red versus like Ilya Dragunov in blue.
Give me like the Four Pillars doing that with like their VPW2 costumes, like No Mercy hitting the C buttons.
So yeah, that's my last one. I think that was the best one I came up with.
I like that one a lot. That's a good
That
one.
was The Undertaker did that. That was a pretty great
Oh
match.
yeah,
against Doc Gallows.
yeah, and he did it against.
No, it was Kane, wasn't it?
I think it was Kane once, and then they did it a second time, and it was Luke Gallows the second time. Or it was
Yeah.
Luke Gallows fake Kane.
Luke Gallows was fake Kane.
Luke
Yeah,
Gallows was
Luke
fake
Gallows
Kane.
was fake Kane.
Yeah, but yeah, so those are our weird dream matches. Moving on, we have outside the ring news. It's been reported this week that the Lucha Bros may be leaving AEW. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I saw it coming. I'll be real.
Mm-hmm. How have you felt about their booking in AEW? Like, I know, Shane, you've been watching and paying attention. How do you feel about them? Because they were
well
really
booked
hot.
until the EVP thing started.
Really?
Then the tag division's kind of been on the back
There
burner.
has been a lot. I think the biggest good faith complaint about AEW right now is the tag division. And I think I agree with that. It does need some revamping, and you have some young tag teams there that I think you could use to do that. But the Lucha Bros, they were great in Impact. They were like two of the hottest luchadors on the scene when AEW started. They were just obvious fits. And they've had a great run. Would we be excited to see them in WWE?
WWE's been scooping up a lot of AEW talent, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them in WWE.
Yeah. I think the one like kind of problem some people have had with that is that WWE, unless your name is Rey Mysterio, they seem to have a problem with booking luchadors well.
Yeah.
But maybe under Triple H that could be different.
Can you
I don't
say LWO members, Pentagon, Hexagon, and Ray Tucson?
Yeah. So we'll see.
5 years from now, Return of the Conquistadors.
Yeah.
Oh God, that'd be horrible.
In WWE news, nothing major, but first, WWE has another Olympic gold medalist. NIL athlete, I think it's Masai Russell. I don't really know how to pronounce her first name. Won gold medal in the 100 meter hurdles. Easy for me to say, I guess, at the Olympics. So in the pipeline, there's another Olympic gold medalist for WWE.
There's been what? 4 now? 5?
Total? I don't know.
Yeah, I think total. Yeah, 'cause it got
I don't know.
Angle. I think Gable won a gold.
I don't think he won gold. He might have medaled, but I don't think he won gold.
So maybe only 3 then.
Yeah.
Yeah, they only say he was in the Olympics. They never say he won anything.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
But
it's
it was Angle.
Angle, the women's wrestler, and them.
Yeah, and I guess if you count Gable Stevenson was there for a short time.
And so was Chad Gable too.
No, I mean like Gable Stevenson actually won gold, and then he was at
Oh,
WWE for
yeah,
a short time. Is
true.
what I meant. But and then also it was announced that there will be a Speed Women's Championship. So WWE Speed is moving into the women's division, which there have been plenty of jokes about how women's matches that are by design under 3 minutes. Welcome back, Divas era. Just going right back to that. Let's see. In other news, rest in peace, Kevin Sullivan. He was a big name at WCW, one of the great wrestling minds of all time. So rest in peace to him. Had a really good run. Did you have anything on Kevin Sullivan?
Kevin Sullivan, I remember watching him back when they did the Doomsday Cage match, and everyone interfered on Hogan and Macho Man. He was like the evil part of Hogan because he always wore the yellow.
Yeah. Scott D'Amore is reopening Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. Scott D'Amore, who up until earlier this year was booking TNA, is going to be opening a new indie promotion in Canada. Maple Leaf, or well, not. He's going to be reopening an old indie promotion from Canada, which is good. As he has some sway, so this could end up on like a Triller or YouTube or somewhere. So it's just always good for more opportunities for wrestlers to be seen. So
I would
excited to see how that
like
goes.
to say that this is the promotion that Jack Tunney ran,
Okay.
the on-screen president
Yeah,
in the
President
80s.
Jack Tunney, yep. So, okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know any of the history of it. So, and then in kind of sadder news, Jordan Oliver had to have surgery on an ACL. It's usually about a year in injury.
So
So,
he'll be back, I'd say, like 11 months.
11 months-ish. So, yeah.
Because it happened last month.
Okay. So, no East-West Express until next year. We'll see how it goes. In New Japan news, we are in the home stretch of the G1 Climax. By this time next week, we will have a G1 Climax winner. Looking at the standings in the A block, I'll start bottom to top this time so that we can kind of talk about who's making the bracket. Callum Newman ended with only 4 points. Shota Umino, 8 points, as well as Gabe Kidd, Sonata, and Jake Lee also had 8 points. Tetsuya Naito and Evil each finished with 10 points, but did not make the tiebreakers to get into the six-man tournament. Grado Khan and Shigo Takagi, who each had 10 points, will wrestle later this week. The winner of that will face Zack Sabre Jr., who ended with 14 points on the A side. The B side, there is one more day of competition left. But right now, we are looking at El Phantasmo, Oleg Bolin, and Hanare. Each have 6. They are mathematically eliminated. Their matches will Bolton won't even wrestle a match because his opponent has to forfeit. So his match has already been counted, but we'll see. And then Yuya Uemura, Yota Tsuji, Hiroki Goto, Rin Narita, and Konosuke Takeshita all have 8. David Finlay and Jeff Cobb both have 10. Unfortunately for Yuya Uemura, he did sustain an injury this week wrestling your boy Yota Tsuji. So he will not wrestle his final match, but it didn't really matter. That match wasn't going to affect the final standings in any way, really. So let's start with Yota Tsuji because you still got a little bit going on this week. This past week, wrestled Hanare and Yuya Uemura. What did you think of those matches?
You gotta say, B block's looking like anybody can win, and with some moves, with some wins, no losses, I think we got a chance.
Beating Hanare was huge. The thing that kind of concerns me is that Yota Tsuji injured Yuya Uemura, but still lost to Uemura. So that's a little concerning.
I guess you can't win them all, but also he's not capitalizing on what he should, and Naito would easily capitalize on it, for example, like an injured opponent.
Yeah. Let's see. And then this upcoming week, Jeff Cobb. It's a big test.
That's a little worrying. It's a big test.
I mean,
he's a big guy.
He is sitting atop of the B block right now. So here is what you need to happen on Wednesday for this to make the tournament. First of all, Tsuji has to win. A loss and you're out. If that happens, you need Rin Narita to beat Konosuke Takeshita, and you need Hanare to beat Hiroki Goto. That would leave David Finlay, whether he wins or loses his match, would end up with the 1 seed, and Rin Narita and Yota Tsuji would then go to the playoff to see who will face Finlay. That's the best case scenario. I do not see Rin Narita beating Takeshita. That's a really tough thing to ask for, but we'll see. For my part here, we had 4 matches to talk about here because last week I didn't have time to get to the Shingo match before our recording. Let me pull up my notes here. Let's see, Shingo. Yes. My first note: Gabe Kidd is annoying. I've realized I'm not a fan of Gabe Kidd. He's a fine wrestler, but he's trying way too hard to be cool, and it's a really annoying shtick.
I disagree. I like it.
Yeah, I hate it. In this match, really, all it boiled down to, it really could have gone either way. It was Shingo and Zack Sabre Jr. both wrestling the best match they had in them, and Shingo ended up getting the W. Just doesn't go your way sometimes. The Evil match. This is kind of interesting because I started writing a note because Evil starts with a pre-match attack, which is very against the the etiquette for the G1 Climax. This is supposed to be about wrestling, right? So I wrote here, wow, a pre-match attack. I hope NJPW management lays down the ham, and then my note ends because I had to start my next note, which says, holy shit, we already won. Easy dub, rip bozo, see you next year. It's coming home. It was great to have an easy match between tough fights like Shingo and Gabe Kidd, and I think that really contributed. Just pinning Evil in like 4 seconds really helped. Against Gabe Kidd, I think if the Evil match would have been a real match, we would have lost this. There's no way we could have come in and got that. Kidd kicked Zach's ass, and it took a lot to win the match. It was good that we were already in the playoff. It makes the Sonata match less important, but a win getting the extra day rest is huge. Against Sonata, I know Sonata technically has a good resume. He's been IWGP champion. He just still doesn't feel like a major threat to me. I don't know. How do you feel about Sonata?
Sonata was world champion, but after that, he kind of fell off the face of the earth, so he's not really a big issue to me.
The more damage Zach takes, the more important it is to win this match. The extra day rest could be the difference between making the bracket and winning the bracket. And Sonata really took it to us. It was a hard-fought fight, hard-fought win for Zach. So it's time to rest up for the bracket. Well, I'm excited to see what happens here. Shingo Takagi and Great Khan will wrestle, and the winner of that will face Zack Sabre Jr. And then ultimately, whoever wins the A block and whoever wins the B block brackets will face off in the final. Do you have a prediction for what that final will be?
ZSJ, I would hope Tsuji, but I'm going to say ZSJ against... It's tough.
I know, because it could be... There's literally 7 guys who could wind up winning the B block. No, sorry, 6 because Uemura's hurt.
Yeah,
so it's Jeff Cobb, David Finlay, Konosuke Takeshita, Ren Narita, Haruki Goto, or Yota Tsuji. All 6 are still in contention.
I can see it being Tsuji. I can see it being
Goto.
I can see it being.
I mean, I've been seeing the Goto fan base calling this the Goto 1, saying the G and G1 stands for Goto.
Every single year, and every single year is getting closer.
I know. I think it's coming home. I think Zack Sabre Jr.'s got it. Second non-Japanese winner of the G1 in history after Kenny Omega. I'm calling it right now. Kyle Fletcher, or on Dynamite now, we'll go to TV here. Kyle Fletcher put up a hell of a fight against MJF. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but he reminds me a lot of Ospreay 5 years ago. And he has a bit of Shield Seth Rollins to him. Would you say that's...
A little.
I don't know.
A little.
I can't really explain it. The Ospreay one's kind of obvious. He's been mentored by Ospreay for years now. But just what I see in him just reminds me of how I felt watching Seth Rollins when he was in the Shield. There's just some sort of charisma there that's just going to work. And then Hook returned. So it looks like we're setting up Hook versus Jericho in some sort of FTW title, no holds barred situation. On Collision, Darby and Hologram versus the Premier Athletes. I want to talk about Collision because they've been doing this residency in Arlington, Texas for Collision. We're on week 3 of 4. This has been awesome.
It has. It really has.
It feels like a territory. Like when Mark Sterling comes out and is able to like work off of a crowd that has been booing him for 2 weeks and like just kind of he felt like a real territory heel the way he was going after the crowd and like referencing the week before because it's all been kind of contained. And the way that like we've seen Hologram, who's become like kind of the breakout star of the territory, teaming with guys who are coming in like Mystico and Darby Allin. I really like this. I think the schedule for Collision's probably planned through the end of the year already, but I think starting in 2025, Collision should just every month be in one city for the entire month. So instead of like Dynamite going to a different city each week, and there's like 52 Dynamites in a year, and they could be in 52 different cities if you wanted. 12 cities get Collision every year because it makes it more of an event, more of a spectacle to go to, differentiates it from Dynamite. And 2, you just can have that kind of territory feel, and you can even hit the cities that were major territory points. You could go to Memphis for a month. You could go to Minneapolis for a month, Houston, San Francisco, Greensboro. Let's see, the original Florida Championship Wrestling, was that in Tampa?
I think so.
Yeah, so just like go all around. Or like I think a month in Toronto with how good those Canadian crowds have been would be awesome. I don't know. I just really like what they're doing there. Swerve Strickland's challenge, answered by Tomohiro Ishii. Fans have become desensitized to surprises. There's this Cody Rhodes WrestleMania 38 effect where I think fans are always expecting a surprise to be something huge when sometimes it can just be something fun. Because this was an open challenge for not for the world title, but an open challenge eliminator for the world title. So if Swerve lost, he would have had to put a title on the line the next time they wrestled. And it was answered by Tomohiro Ishii, who is on loan to AEW from New Japan for the summer. And it's a really fun match that we get to see that we probably will never see again. But because fans want every surprise to be Roman Reigns at SummerSlam or when Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson debuted in AEW, like there was a lot of trashing on this. What'd you think about the whole discourse around it?
I didn't even see any discourse around it. So.
Oh, okay. All right, you've blocked out the right parts of Twitter, I guess.
I guess so.
Well, I mean, I guess there's something that's not really AEW related. What do you think of that effect in general, Jolka? Just that fans are expecting too big.
Well, yeah, we've been getting gradually surprises started off small, but then they kept getting bigger and bigger. And now it seems like everybody's trying to throw out a surprise entrant or a new person coming into the whatever company because there's a lot of people in this business now. When somebody drops out of one, it's 9 out of 10 they go to the other.
Yeah.
They're always popping back up on the scene, and it's not like in the old days when it was controlled by just 2 major companies where if someone got fired, they could really be fired and we never see them again.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people in this instance were like, oh, that's Ricochet. This is how they debut Ricochet. And so they just kind of, they automatically decided this is going to be the best possible option or I'm going to hate it.
Right.
And that's just kind of a problem. And you see that everywhere now with any discourse. It's like anytime a movie comes out, it's either the best movie ever or the worst movie ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we'll have to see. And then Shane, I have a question for you. Are the House of Black officially babyfaces?
I don't know. It feels like it.
Because they're working with the Bullet Club Gold and the Patriarchy, and it feels like they're babyfaces. I mean, I know to you they've always been the babyfaces.
I mean, obviously, yes. But it kind of does feel like a little bit.
I'm excited.
They're working against the heels, so.
Because, I mean, the hot tag in that match on Collision was Buddy Matthews tagging in Brody King. So, like, it feels like they're babyfaces.
They're going to run. AEW is doing this so they can run This Is Hardcore next year.
Yeah. Moving on to WWE, starting with Raw, we have to talk about Gunther's first challenger, a rematch with Randy Orton. There was controversy at King of the Ring. What are you guys' thoughts on this? Just on the base level before we really get into the story of it.
I think it's smart. I think it shows the I guess the smartness of Randy Orton, how he's always kind of been. He waited to get his dream match after Gunther was the champion.
Mm-hmm. What do you think?
I like the real aspect to it because when they met in the ring and they had their face-to-face, it felt more of like a weigh-in. Even like they were just talking back and forth, and Gunther shaked his hand at the end of it. It's a real more prestigious feeling to a championship match.
And I'll make it even more real from a business aspect and from a fan experience aspect. You're looking at this Germany card, and you're going to put their homegrown boy, who, I mean, he's Austrian, but he came up through the German wrestling scene. You're putting him against the guy that these German fans have always wanted to see, an all-time legend in Randy Orton. Like, you're just giving them the best of both worlds in what should be the main event of that show. You're giving them their guy versus one of the greats.
Right. And I see it being a full Gunther crowd.
Oh, it will be. 100%.
As it should be, yes.
Yeah. And then the new Judgment Day, Balor, Carlito, McDonough, Dom, and Liv. Problems with Priest and Rhea still. Where do you guys, are we excited for this?
No.
No. Why not?
I just don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
It feels lame. I liked Carlito doing the Apple thing because I always like doing the Apple thing.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels worse.
Mm-hmm. Joker, your thoughts?
I'm exactly opposite. I'm really excited for it because I'm a Liv Morgan fan. And
Oh, yeah.
everyone said when Judgment Day broke away from Edge that it was just going to be like a crappy knockoff.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just evoluting down to new people being in it. Carlito finally getting a membership.
Mm-hmm. I feel like up until now, Judgment Day has been like a B or C tier faction. You know what I mean? They're not the NWO, but they're way better than like the Mexicools, right? Like they haven't been terrible, they haven't been great, they've been kind of floating in the middle. And I think if this Finn Balor Priest thing is done right, this could be what puts them in all-time great faction territory, if this ends up being pretty good. And, I mean, if you're going to put, like, I mean, Rhea's one of your biggest top stars. Dom is the most booed man in wrestling history. Like, just, yeah, get it up there. But also, Priest might need some backup. Do you guys know if Bad Bunny's free?
I think so.
Because here's my idea. At Survivor Series, it's all but decided we're gonna get a Bloodline War Games match situation, right? What if we also got a traditional 4-on-4 Survivor Series match with Balor, Carlito, McDonough, and Dominic versus Priest, Bad Bunny, Dragon Lee, and Rey Mysterio?
I tell you what, he is free.
No tours?
No tours.
All right. Bad Bunny return?
That would be something.
It's overdue.
It is overdue. Ready for more Bad Bunny. I got to get this Logan Paul taste out of my mouth. We got to get some Bad Bunny in here. And then Punk, Drew, and Seth continued their story well. Really great promo segment. Do you guys have any thoughts on the actual promo segment, or do we just need to talk about Bronson Reed?
I don't want to talk about Bronson Reed.
You don't want to talk about Bronson Reed?
I want to talk about Bronson Reed. I want to.
Oh, you want to? Go ahead. Go right into Bronson Reed.
Bronson Reed rules. I love that man so much.
Having Seth cough up blood was certainly a choice.
Was it the right choice, you think?
It was pretty good.
See, we're talking about it still, so.
Like, I don't even know what to compare it to, but it feels so out of place on a WWE show.
The Nexus debut, I think, is what I'd kind of compare it to, where it feels so not
But
like
if you told me that like the NWO beat a guy down so bad he coughed up blood, I'd be like, yeah, that was a that could have been. I could see WCW doing that, but this just doesn't feel like the 2024 WWE style. But it worked so well.
It was so good.
It reminds me of Goldberg at his peak.
Yeah.
When he was just laying people out one after another.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy's even more intense than Goldberg. Did you see the clip where he was doing the spear and he hit the ropes and shifted the ring a few inches?
That's Braun Breaker. We're talking about Bronson Reed, different guy.
Sorry, I heard that wrong.
The big dude from, I think, Australia.
That splashed Seth Rollins like 100 times in a row. and had Seth Rollins coughing up blood. What do you think of that segment?
Yeah, I love when he's coughing up blood because that makes it feel more real than when they just do the normal gigs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
And I love good gigs, so.
And then the Wyatt Six in-ring debut against American Made, which is the new name for Chad Gable and the Creed brothers. I thought it was pretty good.
You know what? I'm pleasantly surprised.
Mm-hmm. Like they're not going to pull off any 5-star classics, but this is going to be interesting. And I really like how it felt like a Bray Wyatt tribute match.
To be fair, they did put it up against maybe the 3 greatest wrestlers in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see them against the guys who are a little worse. But I was pleasantly surprised. This match kind of proved to me that, at least for now, they're not a until the bell team.
Yeah.
I can see it going that way very quickly.
I loved Uncle Howdy sitting in the chair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just watching.
Great. Yeah. I'm really excited for this. I think this could go because they aren't going supernatural with it. They're going, these are just 4 or 5, it's 5 clinically insane people. And let's just see what happens when you let them run rampant on a wrestling show. From SmackDown, I just have a couple things. We talked about Gunther Randy, the other match announced for Bash at Berlin. What about Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens?
I like it.
Yeah, real.
I know there's a lot of like hate from only WWE fans who watched it. Like, there's no heel turn. There's nothing. It's not good. Kevin Owens wants to challenge the title. He doesn't care who has it.
Also, let it play out. This
Right.
is Triple H, right? We've gotten to a point where everything is a slow burn now, to a point where it's kind of a problem. So I don't know. What do you think of it, Joko?
I think it's going to be a good match. Kevin Owens, he has no problem flipping heel, flipping face, and doing it on a one-show basis.
Yeah,
like he's very good with the crowd.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, this is Triple H just like flexing his Ring of Honor love right here, putting Cody and KO against each other. And then Roman Reigns solo. Where are we with this? Because as opposed to Cody and KO, this has all the story already built into it. So what are we feeling with this matchup?
I like it too.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Solo is a lot more interesting in something like this than he is in the title picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to. I like Solo, but he's not on like my top tier level of guys I want to watch.
He has like not very much charisma.
No.
He's a charisma vacuum.
Yeah, like
They put Jacob Batsu with them, and it's so clear.
Yeah, because and it's not even just a microphone thing. Because Umaga never was on the mic, but he had charisma. You could see it, right? And like you just said with Jacob Fatu, I don't know if Jacob Fatu's touched a microphone in WWE yet, but he has the charisma. So it doesn't feel it feels like Jacob and Roman is the big match, eventually. Maybe WrestleMania, but we're gonna do Roman and Solo first.
I heard rumors that the injury might have been staged.
I saw that too.
Because they don't want Roman and Jacob touching each other yet. They might be saving that for later.
Yep, I saw the same thing. All right, now it is time to get into Wrestling Jeopardy. So I put together a Jeopardy game. It'll be Shane versus Jolka. It's going to be a full Jeopardy, so it's two rounds and then a final Jeopardy. The way this is going to work, we don't have buzzers, so you guys are just going to, keep your hands at a reasonably low level and then just raise them up. Don't try to sneak up and get an advantage.
We could make the buzzing sound. Bzz.
That might get annoying.
Yeah, that'd be annoying. Yeah.
And I decide who got their hand up first. So consider me Christian Cage in a turtleneck or Seth Rollins in sparkly pants because I am the referee.
You will listen to what I have to say.
Our first categories here are championships. What?
Move that.
Move the
Yeah,
bottle.
thank you very much.
I mean, I'll put it more out when I don't have to read it. Championships, WrestleMania, hometowns, the women's division, and WCW. Jolka, you are the guest, so I will let you take the first pick of category.
I'm going to do hometowns for 300.
Hometowns for 3.
I would have sworn we would have went with WCW there.
The hometown of WWE's resident Olympic gold medalist, Kurt Angle.
What is Pittsburgh, PA?
That is correct. Let's see, how do I do this again? Yes, what is Pittsburgh? By the way, also, just for people who don't know, it's going to be all WWE. There's like a little bit of other stuff that slips in there, but it's WWE, WCW, ECW, stuff you can find on the network. So, Shane, you have control of the board.
Let's go hometowns 4.
Hometowns 400. The suburb of New York City that Tommy Dreamer calls home. Jolka.
Brooklyn.
That is incorrect.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Yonkers.
That is correct.
What is Yonkers?
What is Yonkers? I have the questions in Jeopardy form. You don't have to answer in a form of a question. You can if you want to. I'm not going to.
Oh, I forgot it was Jeopardy form.
Yeah. But yes, what is Yonkers was the correct
No, I'm just not sure what
answer.
Yonkers is.
All right, Shane, once again.
Hometowns 5.
Hometowns for 5. Far from Death Valley, it is the actual birthplace of The Undertaker.
What is Houston?
That is correct.
It's
Houston,
Houston, or it's
Texas.
Houston or Austin. He
All
lives
right.
in Austin now, I think. Well,
Shane, keep going.
WCW 100.
WCW for 100. WCW's premier pay-per-view event.
Starcade.
Yes. It's the 100 one. It's easy.
Waiting for him to do it.
I was thinking because they were all like premieres when it first started out.
I meant like they're like kind of number one. I could have worded it better.
Championships for 4.
Championships for 4. The High Flyer, who was both the last European and last hardcore champion, unifying both with the Intercontinental Championship. Jolka?
Jeff Hardy.
Incorrect.
Oh. RVD?
That is correct.
They had the last match.
Yeah.
I think they had the last match for one of them. I think it might be the hardcore title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That ladder match.
Yep. All right. Actually, you know what? I'm going to... In Jeopardy, they usually take away the points if you get it wrong, right?
They're already not close, so...
I'm not going to do that. You're only going to get the
Thanks,
points for the right
Shane.
answer. I'm not going to take away the points. All right. Shane, you're the board.
Women's Division 2.
Women's Division for 2. The first ever women's main event of Monday Night Raw.
Nope, I wasn't.
Nope, not a full hand up. Don't. Both you tapping out? All right. It was Lita versus Trish Stratus.
I probably could have guessed
I think
that.
it was 2006. Might have been 2005. Somewhere in there.
I probably could have guessed that.
Yeah. So, yeah. Shane, you still control the board?
WCW 2.
WCW for 2. An unconventional wrestling venue that held the first ever Monday Nitro.
Oh.
I think he was barely first.
Mall of America.
That is correct. The Mall of America. It is now Shane 1700, Jolka 200.
Yes.
Jolka, you control the board.
Let's do WrestleMania for 300.
WrestleMania for 300. The oft forgotten main event of WrestleMania 25. I think Shane was first.
Cena Miz?
No, that was WrestleMania 27. No idea. Randy Orton versus Triple H. It is often overlooked because the match right before it was Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker, which is considered one of the best matches to ever happen. So it's let's see, who picked WrestleMania? Was that Jolka? All right, so it's still your board.
Let's do championships for 300.
Championships for 3. The legendary figure that held the undisputed championship when the WWF became the WWE. So he is one of the biggest legends of all time. This was 2002, yes.
Who is Chris Jericho?
Not Chris Jericho. He was the first undisputed champion, but he did not hold it.
Who's Undertaker?
Not The Undertaker. It was Hulk Hogan.
Oh, I just saw that too.
Yeah. All
I
right.
choose to try to forget that title run.
I tried to keep Hulk Hogan out of this as much as possible. He's going to pop up some. You're still yours, Joker.
All right, let's do championships for 500.
Championships for 500. A face-painted duo that held the original World Tag Team Championship 3 times for a combined 698 days.
Demolition.
Yes. Demolition. All right, finally somebody got one again. Shane?
Mania 5.
Mania for 5. The winner of the Gimmick Battle Royal at WrestleMania 17.
Iron Sheik.
All right, I didn't think you would know that that quickly.
It's okay. Let me explain. That one's on YouTube. I watched it at like 2 a.m. as a 13-year-old.
Okay. Still your board.
WrestleMania 4.
WrestleMania for 4. In 1995, he became the first and so far only celebrity to main event WrestleMania. This would have been WrestleMania 11, I think.
Which WrestleMania?
No, I think it was WrestleMania. Let's see, 95 would have been WrestleMania 11.
William the Refrigerator Perry.
No.
His name's on the tip of my tongue.
You got it, or you going to tap out?
I'm gonna tap out.
You were in the right category. It was Lawrence Taylor.
I couldn't get his name. I'm like, he was wrestling Bam Bam Bigelow.
He was wrestling Baby Bigelow. That's correct. All right. Was it?
He could have told you everything about the event but the guy.
Yeah.
WCW 3.
WCW for 3. The original 4 Horsemen. I need all 4 members. Neither one of you got it?
No, I don't got that.
Nope.
one.
Okay. How many can you get?
Anderson, Blanchard, Flair?
Yeah, that's actually
Oh,
correct. Should we? I'll leave it for you, Joker. Should I give him the points, or because you guys had already kind of tapped out?
Might as well.
Might as
I
well.
mean, I guess, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, Ric Flair, Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, and Ole Anderson.
I didn't know if it was Flair or not. That's the issue.
Yep. All right, so Shane's still your board, up 3,000 to 200.
Hey, I did say Ken Jennings, so
Yeah.
there's to be 4.
WCW for 4. The 4th member of the NWO. We all know the 3rd member. Who was the 4th member?
DiBiase?
It was Ted DiBiase.
I was stuck between that and his dipshit nephew.
Dipshit nephew. I don't even know who you mean.
Oh, Hogan's.
Horace Hogan?
Yeah.
Horace Boulder, the 4th member? That is W for 5.
WCW for 5, clear out that category.
Horace Hogan.
The reigning WCW World Tag Team Champions when the company was sold to Vince McMahon.
Three count?
No. Do you have even a guess? Really take yourself back to 2001.
I know. I'm thinking it's.
I think Shane might know it. I think he might know it now. But he doesn't get another guess.
One of them is Kidman. I don't know.
Who do you think it is, Shane?
Is it Ray and Kidman?
No, it was the Natural Born Thrillers, Chuck Palumbo and Sean O'Hare.
I should have stuck with that. So it's either Chronic or them.
All right, Shane.
Hometowns for 2.
Hometowns for 2. The home of William Regal and the namesake of the faction he started in AEW.
From Blackpool, England.
Yep. There we go. Joker finally back on the board. 3,400 to 400.
It's all right.
Yeah, comeback's coming in. Comeback's coming up.
What do you got, Joker? It's your board.
All right. Let's do hometowns for 100.
Hometowns for 100, clearing out that category. The second city that CM Punk hails from.
Chicago. That was easy. So it's like, ooh, me. WrestleMania 2.
WrestleMania for 2. The host city of Steve Austin's return to WrestleMania after a 19-year absence. Just a couple years ago. Where was WrestleMania?
It's gotta be Dallas.
It was Dallas. I would have accepted Dallas or Arlington. Either one would have been.
Neither of us are gonna say Arlington.
Okay. Shane, you still have the board?
Women's 3.
Women's for 3.
That's maybe an idea, but
Carmella cashed in the first ever women's Money in the Bank briefcase on her. Who is it?
Asuka.
No. This was 2017, I believe. Maybe the cash-in was early 2018. I think she held it for a long time.
Alexa Bliss.
No. Charlotte Flair. Actually, I think based on the time period would have been the most likely answer.
Probably.
Yeah. She held the title a lot back then.
Women's 1.
Women's for
We're
1.
gonna get a rebound going on here.
The only woman to win the Intercontinental Championship.
Oh, China.
You got it first. China? Yep, that was a close one, though. Shane, you still got it?
Women's 4.
In 1984, she became the first WWF Women's Champion.
Fabulous Moolah.
No, that was like way before then.
Oh, that's what I was going
That was
with
like
too.
NWA/WWWF. This was a new version of the title. It's a tough one. You got an answer?
Sensational Sherry.
It was Wendy Richter.
I did my second guess.
All right, so we got a 500 and a couple of lower
Let's
ones.
go with women's 5. You know,
Go
we're
women's
we're
5?
having fun here. Not answering a single one right, but we're having fun here.
The inaugural SmackDown Women's Champion.
I don't even remember that.
Think back to 2016.
No.
The inaugural.
Charlotte Flair.
No,
Damn.
you would think though.
Oh yeah, no. Was she the inaugural Raw?
I think she might have been the first Raw Women's Champion.
Bailey.
No, it was a different horsewoman. It was Becky Lynch.
I was never gonna get that.
Got a couple.
Sorry to the women's division.
Yeah,
Golly.
Only got the 100 question, I think.
WrestleMania for 1.
WrestleMania for 1. Clear out that
If
category.
they come back, if it comes back in double, we will get in some then.
The A-teamer who teamed with Hulk Hogan in the main event of WrestleMania 1. Shane got it.
I pity the fool.
I mean,
Mr. T.
Mr. T. I know. I just need you to say the name.
Bumpy Knuckles in John Cena's music video.
Yeah. All right. So it's just championships left. 100 or 200?
2.
Champions for 2?
Mm.
All right. The country in which Pat Patterson won a fictional tournament, crowning him the first ever Intercontinental Champion.
South America.
It's not a country.
Canada.
No, it was in Brazil. You almost had. I heard he almost went Argentina. He almost went Brazil, and then just didn't choose. And then our final one is championships for 100. While he is the inaugural Universal Champion, he is also, unfortunately, the shortest reigning. I think Shane had it first.
I'll give it to him.
Oh, Jolka.
Finn Balor.
Yep.
Thanks for the pity question, Shane.
So after one round, it is 3,900 to 500.
Hey, Ken Jennings over here.
But double the points in round number 2. Let me set up this one with your scores.
I like points aren't taken away. At least that way we get a guess at it.
Yeah.
I thought that would make it easier. What did I say you had? 3,900 to
3,900 to 5. Although if there was points taken away, I'd probably be guessing something right anyways.
Yeah. Jolka, since you're down by so much, I'll let you start. Our categories are big, meaty men slapping meat,
Oh, that's my category right there.
the Royal Rumble, the Streak, ladder matches, and Canadians. You're bored, Joker.
Let's do ladder matches for 400.
Ladder matches or for 800 this time.
Ooh, 800.
Double points.
There's 400 on there.
Oh, or for 400. Sorry, my bad. I will. Yeah, 400. Sorry, I got confused. Winner of the ladder match to crown the first NXT North American champion. This would have been. It was the takeover of WrestleMania weekend one year. I cannot tell you the year.
Velveteen Dream.
No.
Was he in the ladder match?
Velveteen Dream may have been in the ladder match. But he did not win.
Ricochet.
No, I think they were like in the first 5 champions. It was actually Adam Cole. Was the first.
I
North
guess we're
American
not all
champion.
about that boom.
Yeah, I think that was in New Orleans, maybe.
I think if I say them more confidently, they're going to come out right.
Yeah. Joker.
Let's do Royal Rumble for 800.
Royal Rumble for 800.
It's gonna be like, who were the AAA guys in 97 Rumble?
Producing 5 winners. This is the luckiest number in Royal Rumble matches.
27.
No, not anymore. It was for a long time.
It's number 16.
No, it's number 30.
Oh,
The most obvious answer. It was 27 for a lot of years, but it's now 30 has overtaken it.
great start to
Yep.
Double Jeopardy here.
Yeah, great start to Double Jeopardy.
All right. Royal Rumble for 600.
Royal Rumble for 6. The only 2 men to tie in a Royal Rumble.
Lex Luger and Bret Hart.
Correct. Finally got an answer correct.
Royal Rumble for 1,000.
Only 4 questions in.
Royal Rumble for 1,000. The woman with the most total eliminations in women's rumbles.
Nia Jax.
Nope.
China.
No, it's in the women's rumbles, like the recent ones. I'll give you another guess.
Let's see. Tiffany Stratton.
No, it's Rhea Ripley.
I'm so sorry to all the women's division fans that
Yeah,
will listen to
this
this.
is literally like 1 for 6. Or no, 1 for like 7 on questions about women. All right, who had the board? Was it Joka still? Yeah.
Let's do Canadians for 400.
Canadians for 400. Or
Please
for
be a
400.
man. Please be a man. Please be a man.
The only Canadian to win the WWE Universal Championship.
Oh,
Joka
Kevin
was
Owens.
first.
Oh,
Yeah, Kevin Owens.
damn it.
Yep, Kevin Owens. He was the second one. He won the tournament after Balor.
The match.
There was it was a tournament. I remember. I remember this very clearly. So Joka continued.
We'll do ladder matches for 1,000.
Ladder matches for 1,000. Before TLC, it was the event where Edge and Christian, the Hardys, and the Dudleys had a triangle ladder match. So it was before they ever did a TLC match. Same competitors, but it was just a ladder match. Shane's doing math. Don't know if that's going to help him.
SummerSlam 99.
No.
Backlash.
No, it was WrestleMania 2000. So they had WrestleMania 2000, just a ladder match. SummerSlam 2000 was actually the first TLC. Most people forget about it because they remember more the second TLC, which was WrestleMania X7. So neither one of you get that. Joka's still in control of the board. Needs, 2,400 points to catch up.
Well,
It's doable.
It's doable with this
it
board.
is. Let's do big meaty men slapping meat for 1,000.
All right. The original name that Kevin Nash went by in WCW.
Vinny Vegas.
No. I think that was somebody. That might have been Kevin Nash, but it wasn't his first gimmick.
Trying to think back.
This was before Diesel even.
Oh, before Diesel?
Mm-hmm. So his first run in WCW, how did he start it?
Vinny Dice.
It was Oz.
Oh.
The first thing he was Oz.
We were going with Vinny Vegas twice. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was
Double Jeopardy's been a challenge.
Yeah. I was actually kind of worried I made this side easier than the other side. But
Apparently not.
Royal Rumble for 4.
Royal Rumble for 4. The winner of the first ever Royal Rumble.
Big John Studd.
No, he was number 2.
Nature Boy Ric Flair.
No, he was a little bit later. It was Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Yeah. All right. Jolka? Still 3,900 to 1,500.
Gonna clear out a category getting one right.
God, I guess next time I gotta make this like just basic wrestling. What is a suplex?
Royal Rumble for 200.
Royal Rumble for 200. Clear out the category. Record holding 3-time Royal Rumble winner.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
There you go. It is Stone Cold Steve
Yeah,
Austin.
we did it.
Right.
We did it.
Let's do ladder matches for 800.
Okay, ladder matches for 8. WWE's most common ladder match participant.
Jeff Hardy.
Yep. See, some of these, it's like the obvious answer, but you guys haven't been getting the obvious answer most of the time. Shane, you finally have the board back.
Streak for 2.
The streak for 2. The WrestleMania where Brock Lesnar ended the streak.
30.
That's correct.
Streak for 4.
Streak for 4.
I'm going down that category if I have the board the
All
whole
right.
time.
The last man to fall victim to the streak before it was broken.
CM Punk.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Sorry, I put another CM Punk question in there. He's gonna get this. You wanna go, what, streak 600 next? He's going down the board. All right. The first victim of the streak.
Jimmy Snuka.
Oh my god. I didn't know he knew all this. You're getting washed.
Streak for 8.
Undertaker's opponent in the first world title match of the streak.
Fuck, I don't know if this was part of the streak. Ric Flair.
No, he did face Ric Flair in the streak, but it was not for the world title. It was like later. It was like 2002 or something. Was that match, the Ric Flair match. This was not 2002.
So it's after 2002?
No, it was before 2002.
Before?
Mm-hmm.
Triple H.
No, it was Psycho Sid.
Oh, shit. Oh, WrestleMania 13 in Chicago, no less.
You want the streak for 1,000?
Streak for 1,000.
The only man to face Undertaker in a casket match at WrestleMania.
Kane.
Not Kane.
Mabel.
No, I don't think Mabel ever was on the WrestleMania on the streak. It was Mark Henry. So the streak's out. What do you want next, Shane?
Give me Canadians for 8.
All right, just a score check in here. Shane has 5,900. Shane has 1,700.
Oh, I have 1,700?
Yep.
Let me get you up.
You climbed up a bit.
I thought it was at 7.
At In Your House 9 International Incident, he became the first Canadian to main event a WWE pay-per-view in Canada. So not the first Canadian to main event a pay-per-view, but the first one to do it in Canada.
Owen Hart.
Yep. I believe there was like a 6-man tag. Sid might have been involved in that too. All right. What next?
Ladder matches for 600.
Okay, ladder matches for 6. The participants in the first WWE ladder match.
Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon.
Incorrect.
Oh, shit.
There was one before that.
Oh, shit. Pat Patterson and Joe Risco.
No, it was Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart.
Really?
Actually had one before the WrestleMania 10 ladder match. Yep. All right.
Ladder matches for 2.
Ladder matches for 2. The first ever Mr. Money in the Bank.
Rob Van Dam.
Nope. He was number 2. You keep doing that.
Number 1, Edge.
Yep. Got him the moniker the Ultimate Opportunist. So 5,900 to 2,700. Let's see, 600, 1,200, 2,000, 22, 28.
He's like, as long as he can answer every question on the board.
It's pretty close. You pretty much, but we do have a final Jeopardy where you have to write in a what do they call it?
I'm just gonna bet 1 on that.
Yeah.
All right, Jolka.
Let's see. Big men for 800.
All right, big meaty men slapping meat for 800. In 2006, whenever this date was mentioned, Kane would freak out.
May 19th.
I do.
This is my favorite Caden stupid story.
All right, Shane.
Canadians for 6.
Canadians for 6.
The guy with the shirt that had May 19th all over it, and Shawn Michaels was going. It's my favorite part.
The last Canadian to win the World Heavyweight Championship before it was retired in 2013. Joker.
Chris Jericho.
No.
Edge.
No, it was actually Christian.
Oh, I might have been there for that reign.
One slice of history where Christian had it.
Yeah. All right.
I fielding is
Let's
a
see.
peep
Is it still
here.
you, Shane?
I think it's still me. Big meaty men stopping meat 6.
Okay. The man whose interference caused John Cena to have the first failed Money in the Bank cash-in.
Edge. No.
It's got to be a big guy. I'll give you another guess. I mean, you can raise your hand and go first if you want to.
Yeah, you can go first.
Big Show?
It was the Big Show.
I mean, it's the first big guy I can think of.
Yeah. All right, Shane.
Oh, jeez. 400 for big meaty men?
Big mini men slapping meat for 400. Hulk Hogan's opponent in the main event of WrestleMania 2.
King Kong Bundy?
Correct.
They played a
All right.
little wrestling. Played too much wrestling
Got
games
a
going
couple
growing up.
200 and 1,000
Let's
left.
go Canadians for 1,000.
Canadians for 1,000. In
PCO.
1981, he became the first Canadian to win. At the time, it was the NWA United States Championship. Same lineage to now for the WWE US title, but he was the first Canadian to win the United States Championship.
I'm going to throw a Hail Mary. Bret Hart.
No. Yeah, Shane.
Nino Bravo?
It was Roddy Piper.
Oh. Oh, he's Canadian.
Yeah, like, that's news to me.
All right, we got a couple 200s left. Shane, what
Canadians for 2.
Canadians for 2. The Canadian with the longest reign as WWE champion.
Edge.
No.
No. It's going to be so racist again, but Chris Jericho?
No, it's Bret Hart. I wasn't gonna do a Canadians category and not include Bret Hart.
I didn't even think of him.
All right, so our final one here is big meaty men slapping meat for 200. The first member of the WWE Hall of Fame.
Andre.
Yep. So going into Final Jeopardy, our score is Shane 7,900 to Jolka 2,700. That is a 5,200 point lead.
All I gotta do is not bet that much.
All right, so you each get to write down a wager and your answer. The question is, or the prompt is, the man who Ric Flair beat to win his first world title. So just let me know when you're locked in, and we'll just go by that. Who could it have been? This was back in the NWA, before WCW, before WWE, before Impact Wrestling. That's not really relevant, but it was before
A
Impact
little
Wrestling.
before Impact Wrestling. Just a little bit.
Mhm.
Jeff Jarrett probably wasn't even wrestling me for this point in time.
I don't know. It feels like Jeff Jarrett has always wrestled
That's a good point.
from the beginning of the sport.
Jeff Jarrett versus Carl Gotch.
Yeah, versus Simon Gotch.
A match is probably
All right, you got
happening in
it?
some.
All right. So what is? Oh, here. Okay. So what's your wager?
The top one.
Oh, okay. Well, you both wagered 0 points. Shane said Harley Race. Jolka said Hulk Hogan. It was Dusty Rhodes. So that was interesting.
I was betting on. I didn't want to go out with no points, and maybe he would have been like cocky and betted 7,900.
No, not a chance.
So I guess our final score is Shane with 7,900, Jolka with 2,700. Jolka, you gotta hit the books and come back next time. What's it? It was a little bit better performance. Wow, that went way
Sorry
different
to all the
than
women out there.
I can't believe you guys got like one women's question right. God, that was really
Next time I'm going for 10K.
Yeah. All right. So now we go on to our normal segments to close out the show. Starting with my miscellaneous wrestling notes. First off, Karrion Kross needs to grow a beard. He looks too goofy. I cannot take him seriously when he's talking. He needs a beard. Secondly, I love when random team-ups dress like each other. We saw this with Orange Cassidy and FTR. FTR were the replacements for Mark Briscoe and Kyle O'Reilly, who couldn't get to North Carolina due to a hurricane coming in. So he got FTR as his partners. And FTR wore the denim jackets and sunglasses, and Dax Harwood's glasses were actually Bret Hart, like the ones, like the merch ones that they would sell in the 90s, the pink glasses. And in my miscellaneous wrestling notes, this is going to be a sort of recurring segment. Moving forward, after one of WWE's big 4 shows, I'm going to put together what I would book for the next WrestleMania. So you guys, and then I will have you guys react to it and see what you think. So this is post SummerSlam, booking WrestleMania 41. Night 1. I'm going to start off hot. Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio, mask versus hair. What do you guys think? If Rey wins, Dominic has to go bald. If Dominic wins, Rey loses the mask.
So Dominic's going bald, they're telling me. He's going to look exactly like his dad.
But what I'm saying is, it's up to Rey Mysterio.
Right, okay, fair.
If he wants to retire, he can lose the mask. If he doesn't want to retire, he can shave his son's head. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm kind of overseeing Dominic and Ray wrestle each other.
I was thinking kind of complete the trilogy.
I mean, yeah, I hate to say get that out the way because it's been a good storyline,
Mm-hmm.
but just to finish that up.
All right. I don't usually try. I try usually not to change titles between them. I try to assume that the champions will be the same champions. But for some bookings that I wanted to do, I had to take the title off somebody to put them in something else.
Right.
So by the time we get to WrestleMania, I think the Creed brothers should be World Tag Team Champions. I think they should face the New Day.
Okay.
Do you guys like that?
Yeah.
All
that
right.
would be good.
For the United States title, LA Knight versus Carmelo Hayes.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I see that working out well.
Okay. And by the time we get to WrestleMania, I think this Judgment Day thing will be kind of over. So we got to get some celebrity involvement. I think Damian Priest and Bad Bunny should wrestle Pretty Deadly. Just the obnoxious heels of Pretty Deadly going against Priest and Bad Bunny. I know Priest is on Raw. You can finagle it. Who cares, right? So, I don't know. Would you guys like that?
Yeah.
And then it is my philosophy that WrestleMania should always have a ladder match because it is so much fun when it is. This year, I think we go to the women. Liv Morgan defending her title against Dakota Kai, Io Sky, Zelina Vega, Rhea Ripley, and Kairi Sane in a ladder match. Like that?
That would be entertaining.
Mm-hmm. What about Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles? Have we gotten that in a big program?
I don't think so.
No,
It seems like something that should happen.
I think we've seen it in tag team action, but never one-on-one.
Never one-on-one. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins in a no-holds-barred match.
Yeah, that'd be a great match to watch.
Usually WrestleMania has a no-holds-barred match, so I tried to toss one in there. I think Gunther versus Drew McIntyre for the heavyweight title should be what we get to there. If Seth and Punk are doing their feud and Drew needs something to do, Gunther, I wouldn't be mad at Drew winning the Royal Rumble.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good Rumble pick, especially with what I have going on night 2. In the main event of night 1 of WrestleMania 41, John Cena versus Randy Orton one last time. I think that's where
That's the way to go.
Yeah.
On night 2, we're starting with a match that is for the sickos. Ilya Dragunov versus Chad Gable for the Intercontinental Championship. I have Ilya as the champion going against Chad Gable, still trying to get that belt
I like
a
that.
year later.
Yeah.
Because that kind of part of the story out of WrestleMania was Chad Gable wanted the title shot, but trained Sami Zayn instead.
Right.
So now next year he gets the title shot. In a marquee women's match, Jade Cargill versus Bianca Belair.
That's got to happen.
At some point, yeah.
For the tag team titles over on SmackDown, I have the Gorillas of Destiny versus the Usos. I think just keep it in the bloodline. If Jimmy's back by then, I think he should be. I think Tiffany Stratton will be women's champion by then. So I've heard going against Naomi, because Naomi's really just been popping for me recently. I kind of like every time I see her, so I think she deserves a shot. Give her something big to do. You didn't bring her back for nothing. And in a stipulation to be determined, spooky something, Uncle Howdy versus the Demon Finn Balor.
That would be a good match to watch.
Yeah, some sort of Firefly Funhouse or Buried Alive or something spooky, right?
Bring back the casket match.
Mm-hmm. And in a Goldberg retirement match, Braun Breaker versus Goldberg.
That would be a good match.
That'd be good.
And it should be like 12 seconds long, and Braun Breaker should win.
Right.
Goldberg should go out a victim of what he did to so many people. Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu in a steel cage.
All
I think
right.
would be where we go with that. And in the main event, Cody Rhodes versus The Rock for the WWE Championship.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
That's probably what's going to go down.
Yeah. So that's my fantasy booking for WrestleMania. I think the more interesting part, this is a baseline, the more interesting part we'll see how does it change between now and Survivor Series. Because that's when we'll come back to this. Favorite things of the week. Let's just go right into it. This is where we give our 3 favorite things. I give out the gold, silver, bronze hot dog. Shane's got the gold, silver, and bronze handshake. Jolka just gives us a 3 count. So, Shane, what got the bronze handshake this week?
I think it was a lot. Just come back to me for that bronze.
Come back to you. All right, what do you got for the 3?
This will probably be the first time he's ever got one. I'm going to give it to Shane for that Jeopardy performance.
I like that. It's pretty good.
I'm in the biz.
The bronze hot dog, I'm going to give it to Christian Cage for his refereeing and for that turtleneck. The referee turtleneck is just the coolest thing. Like the greatest thing I've seen him do in this whole run. He just somehow finds a way to top himself every time. Shane, what are you going to give the bronze to?
Let me get the Christian Cage too.
Christian Cage?
I mean, I couldn't think of some for this bronze, so I'm like, yeah, I'll see what y'all do.
All right. What's the 2 for you?
Dominic Mysterio being just a little bit faster than his girlfriend while Rhea Ripley chased them.
Yeah. That was real chivalrous of him to just leave him behind.
He's
Scamper up.
gone.
Yeah. My silver is going to go to Hologram. This is kind of not a lifetime achievement award, but a past 3 weeks have been pretty great award, and I think he just deserves something for it. So I'm going to give it to Hologram. Shane, what do you got?
I know I usually don't like MJF, but I think I'm going to give it to the MJF
Kyle Fletcher
match, yeah.
I like that too.
I'm giving it to Finn Balor.
Number one to Finn Balor?
For what he said to JD, or to what he said to Damian Priest. He goes, "You're not going to get me tonight, but JD's going to take care of that."
Yeah. My gold is going to go to Orange Cassidy and FTR versus Roderick Strong, the Beast Mordos, and Roosh. Not only was it fun to see FTR dress up like Orange Cassidy and do the whole gimmick, it was just a great match too.
Yeah,
really enjoyed a good trios contest. Shane, what do you?
That's my goal too.
That's your gold. All right. So yeah, those are our favorite things of the week. Let's move on to the lightning round. Not so lightning-y this week. We got a lot of matches announced. I'm going to give you guys the matches on a scale of 1 to 10. Tell me how excited you are for the match. Starting off with Monday Night Raw, we have the Alpha Academy versus the Creed Brothers. So Tozawa and Otis versus the Creed Brothers. 1 to 10, how excited?
I'll give it a 6.
I'll do a 5.
Okay. Carlito versus Damian Priest.
That's another 6.
That's an 8. Feeding him to the wolves.
Yeah. Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark versus Kai and Sky.
I'll give it an 8.
Kai, Neo, Sky.
I'm going to go with a 10 because we got to support the females a lot more, apparently.
And in a match that I sort of called, last week I said that the Braun Breaker Sami Zayn rematch should be something that shows endurance. I pitched like an Iron Man match or Last Man Standing or something in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the Intercontinental title. Braun Breaker versus Sami Zayn.
I'll give it a 9.
I'll go with like a 4 because I've been ready to see the end of Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker.
That's fair. On Dynamite, we have Jay Lethal versus Hangman Adam Page.
This is a 9. Jay's gonna get the crappy out of him.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Jarrett's gonna get involved.
I'll go with an 8 because Jeff Jarrett could possibly be around.
Yep. Swerve Strickland versus the junior member of the Blackpool Combat Club, Wheeler Yuta.
I'll give it a 7.
Okay.
7 as well.
Mercedes Moné defending her TBS title against 3-time women's champion Hikaru Shida.
This is probably a 10.
Always a 10 with the women now.
And the Young Bucks, in their first events of the tag team titles, are facing the Acclaimed.
Jolka, what do you think about this match?
I like the Young Bucks.
You got a number? Either one of you?
Do we have to?
Yeah.
Probably I don't know, maybe a 6 just because the Young Bucks are in it.
A 2.
They remind me of Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty back in the day.
Yep.
I hope they're both Jannetties at this point.
So, on SmackDown, we are going to get Naomi versus Blair Davenport.
I'll give it a 6.
I'll give that a 7.
Okay.
Hey, wait a minute.
Kevin Owens versus Grayson Waller.
6.
I'll give that a 9. I like Grayson Waller.
And DIY versus the Street Profits for number 1 contendership to the tag titles.
I'm gonna tune in after DIY's entrance. Otherwise, I'll give it an 8.
8.
I'm gonna go with a 5. I'm not too big on the Street Profits.
All right. And Top Flight versus MXN Collection. That is Mason Mansoor from WWE. 10.
I'm gonna go with 10.
So is that your title under 10 of the week?
It's
Top Flight versus MXN?
gotta be.
They've been great. Match recommendation of the week. Lucha Bros have been in the conversation a lot. So I think people should go back to All Out 2021 if you can and watch the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Bros in a steel cage match. It's an awesome match. I think was that the exploding super kick or was that a different time?
I think that was.
That was either the exploding super kick or the first thumbtacks on the Jordan super kick.
It's
the Young
one of the
Bucks
two.
did. It's a great match, and it's on a show where people immediately remember Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson debuting, but this was an awesome match that was on that card. If you want to listen to more of us, we got some classic reviews, of course. Our last episode was SummerSlam 2015. Came out a week late. Happens. Later this week, we will be releasing a kind of experimental episode where we reviewed 2 AAA shows from 1995. They were both recorded in March and came out in April of 95. Just to kind of go back and look at what AAA used to be back in the 90s, because Triple Mania is this week, which neither one of us are going to watch Triple Mania this year because it looks like an awful card. But still, it's a time of year to celebrate Lucha Libre, and that's something we're always down to do. For our poll, before we get the real stories cooking, now that we just kind of had the matches announced, it's going to be 2 options. More exciting match for Bash in Berlin. Is it Kevin Owens and Cody, or is it Orton and Gunther? Do you guys have an answer? You guys can answer right now what you think. Pre-real storylines.
Orton and Gunther.
Orton and Gunther for you? It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah, you gotta go with Gunther.
I think I'm also on Orton and Gunther. No disrespect to Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. Both great wrestlers.
Right.
So yeah, that is it for this week. Once again, thank you for listening. Thank you, Jolka, for coming on. And don't forget to enjoy wrestling.